Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy David from the Free Play Mode, and I'm coming at you with lesson number 6 on how to play Fire Pro Wrestling World for the PC and PlayStation 4 video game console. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, I do have an Xbox One controller represented, which means I am playing on the PC. But don't worry, if you do have a PlayStation 4 controller using it on the PC, or you are playing on the PlayStation 4, the controllers are interchangeable, so you can transpose what is being done on an Xbox One controller to a PlayStation 4 controller with no problems. And in this lesson, we are going to be going over what to do with your opponent while they are on the ground. And to get your opponent on the ground is fairly simple. You just do any move that puts your opponent to a grounded state, and that will leave them open to having attacks done on them on the ground. Now, when you are attacking an opponent on the ground, there are 4 situations in which you can attack from, and that is face up on the head, face up on the feet, face down on the head, and face down on the feet. Each of these situations has 2 attacks that you can do from those situations, so you do have a total of 8 attacks that you can do from this situation. And in this demo, I am using Bret Hart, so let's go into the move list and check out what moves Bret Hart has while the opponent is on the ground. And as you can see here, he has the leg drop, knee drop to the face, the groin head drop. Sharpshooter is marked as his finishing maneuver, and it is mapped to the opponent down, face up near the leg situation. So again, as I've stated in previous videos, there is no specific way on how to do a finishing maneuver. It just has to be mapped to the move you want designated as your finisher. Then we have the jumping fist drop, camel clutch, and bow and arrow, and the knee drop to the back. In addition to the 8 attacks that you can perform on the ground, you can also perform pinning maneuvers, and that is your right trigger on the Xbox One controller and your R2 button on a PlayStation 4 controller. So in order to do those pins, you have to be face up by the head, or face up by the feet, face down by the head, or face down by the feet. So in total, you do have 4 pinning maneuvers by default. Now that's not to say you can't map additional pinning maneuvers to your 8 attacks while the opponent is on the ground, but it doesn't really make sense to, since you already have pinning maneuvers that you can map to the pin button. So let's get started and show what you can do while the opponent is on the ground. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to get Chris Jericho down, and I'm going to do a move in every position. So I'm going to start with the face up, and that is with the B. And again, there are no specific strengths to the grounded attacks. It's just whatever moves that are mapped to the button. You can map any move to the button that you want. There are no specific strengths to it. And that's the A attack for Bret Hart. And those were face up. And that's the A attack while face up at the feet position. And Bret Hart. Wow, Chris Jericho seems to be wanting to counter everything today, so and that's the face down while in the face up and hitting B, which is Bret Hart's finisher, the sharpshooter. Now we're gonna do face down maneuvers. So all you do to get them face down is, you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can get the opponent face down by performing a move that lands your opponent face down, or you can roll them onto their stomach. If you roll them onto the stomach, what you need to do is get the opponent down in a face up position and then press X near the feet, and that will roll them over onto their stomach. And that was face down near the legs. And as you can see, like, each position is different. There is another attack you can do while the opponent is down, and that is running off the ropes and hitting your opponent with a grounded attack. So to do that, first you get your opponent down. It doesn't matter if they are face down or face up. And then you initiate a run by pressing Y and towards the ropes. And as you're coming back, you hold down B, and they will do their running attack while the opponent is on the ground. So let's do that again. Now, as I said, you can pin the opponent as well just by pressing the right trigger on the Xbox One controller and R2 on the PlayStation 4 controller. And the type of pin you do depends if the opponent is face up or face down, and if you're standing by the head or the feet. Now, in order to position your opponent the way you want to while they are on the mat, you just hit the 3D walk button and you will drag them depending on where you're standing. If you are standing by the head or the feet, it's a different drag animation. It's also dependent on where you are in relation to the ropes, because when you're dragging someone, your objective is to get them as far away from the ropes as possible. So the submission you may want to apply or the pinning combination you may want to apply isn't immediately broken up by the referee. So I do hope you have enjoyed lesson number 6 on grounded opponents. Stay tuned for lesson number 7. This is David from the Free Play Mode signing off. Hoping you have a good evening. Peace, folks. I'm out.